Hey guys, welcome to my August 20th Blu-ray review. I picked a few Blu-rays up this week that I want to show you guys, that's why I'm making this new video. I also want to say it's the 20th of August, and unluckily enough, this morning I woke up to the bad news that director Tony Scott had committed suicide. The news reports saying that he suffered from depression. My heart goes out to his family at the moment. He directed my second most favourite film, which was True Romance, and you know, I always hold him in the heart for that because I love that film so much. So I'm going to get on with the Blu-ray review now, but I want to start with an actual Tony Scott film that I'd ordered the other week. You know, weird that it turned up today as well. But I want to start with Man on Fire. Lovely looking steelbook, this one. I hope you can see that well. I've tried to sort my lighting out from my last video. Great picture of Denzel and Dakota on the front. Picture of the side. Quite nice artwork on the actual side bit, which makes a change. And of course, picture on the back with Denzel. Christopher Walken there as well. So obviously it stars Denzel Washington, Dakota Fanning, Christopher Walken. It's 20th Century Fox have brought this one out, but I brought this off Play.com for $10.99, which some of their exclusives are fantastic, you know, the actual steelbooks themselves. So I'm going to show you the actual, obviously showed you the steelbook itself, I want to show you the inside. So you get a nice inside artwork of Denzel there. I think there's a green kind of beetle that he's taking guard behind there. But you also get the DVD and the Blu-ray itself. Now I popped this in, I've seen this film many times, but I popped this in to have a look at the picture quality, and it is actually really good. The transfer is fantastic from DVD to Blu-ray. I was really impressed by it. The film itself I'm impressed by, you know, although I'd say quite a long film, just fantastic performances throughout, you know, every single main actor in this film did what they were paid to do, basically, you know, they acted well. Definitely up there in one of my high favourite films, you know, fantastic film, I hope you can check it out. Next up is from 20th Century Fox. It is Predator, and this is a fantastic looking steelbook by Play.com here in the UK. If you can see by the front there, there's a picture of the Predator with the mask. Obviously, none of this is embossed or debossed or anything like that. There's a nice picture of Arnie there with the Predator mask on the back. I'll show you the inside. Got a picture of Carl Weathers there, and I'm sure there's a picture of Arnie in the background as Dutch. You get the Blu-ray and you get the DVD. Now, I love this movie. This is like an iconic movie for me because it gave me that love for film again. I remember my friend, his dad owned a video shop years and years and years ago, and he had one of the old, if you can remember, the timecode copies where they used to, it was like a screener kind of what you see now, and he brought it home and we didn't know anything about it. There was no like cover art or case or anything to it. It was just literally a videotape that said Predator on the front. So we started watching it. I must have been about 9 years old, thinking that was just going into some kind of war film. I don't even think we remember seeing the alien ship land at the beginning. You know, when you see something flying through the hits the earth, the atmosphere and goes in. I think we completely missed that. And then all of a sudden this big alien creature turns up and starts ripping the shit out of everybody, you know. I remember me and my mate looking at each other in the face and like, fucking hell, what's going on here? You know, really, really unreal shit. And I think I remember, if yeah, I'm going to spoil a little bit here if you haven't seen it, but the bit where he, you know, goes for Billy's skull and starts ripping his face off, you know, when his face hits the tree. I remember the shock it put me through, you know, a 9-year-old kid seeing this dead body hit a tree, you know, ready to be skinned. Fantastic movie. I love the movie. It'll always be up high with, you know, it's not exactly the best acted movie. It's, you know, it's just there. There's something about it. You know, it's very iconic. Obviously started the Predator trade off. You know, just brilliant. The only thing I'd say is the Blu-ray itself transfer is not great at all. You know, it's although it stands out, they kind of look like waxwork dummies in this film. You know, but if you can be happy with that, you know, if you can, I'll probably prefer to sit and watch the DVD than I would the Blu-ray, and that sounds weird, but you know, just to go for the grainy art of the film and stuff like that, that's my only bugbear about it. But overall, fantastic film. Okay, next moving on is a steelbook that I picked up off Base.com. Somebody on the forums, I don't know if anybody else reads the Blu-ray forums, had mentioned about it being quite cheap, so I picked it up for $13.99. And this is Safe House. A nice picture of Denzel on the front there. Safe House is actually debossed, so it's a nice nice deboss in there, and also a picture of Ryan Reynolds on the back. Now if you open it up, you get some nice cover art, disc art there, Denzel's face. You get the ultraviolet. I've got to Ultraviolet is, why bother? Why not just the digital copy? You know, who's going to be anywhere where they want to download the film to watch? You know, you're going to be sat in some cafe or something like that, download it. You know, I just don't get it. A picture of Ryan Reynolds there on the cover up inside out. I think there's probably one of Denzel on that side, but yeah, overall, I like this film. I thought it was okay. You know, not fantastic. You know, but. I remember, I think at the same time there was the Jason Statham film called Safe brought out as well, so it was like two films with Safe in the title out at the same time. I actually preferred the Jason Statham title Safe. But yeah, this is overall good movie. You know, Denzel Washington's like this, he knows some information and they're keeping him in this safe house and they're trying to get into the safe house to get him killed. Ryan Reynolds ends up taking him but still keeping him as a prisoner. You know, I saw this film a few months ago. I can't remember everything about it. I mean, I do remember enjoying it. You know, it wasn't a bad film at all, but it's not one that really, you know, stuck in my head. So, but I thought I'd pick it up anyway. Anyway, great film, very cheap steelbook. Moving on, I picked this one up from Amazon, the Amazon DE. I actually love the first and second one of this film, but I picked up the second one here because I actually really like the steelbook cover for it, and it's Hangover 2. I think that looks fantastic with the monkey on the front. You know, obviously the monkey's not a massive part of the film, but it's still a part of the film, and I think that's great. But if you turn it around and look on the back, there's the actual cover I think they brought out for most of the DVDs and, you know, the posters and stuff like that. But I got it really for the front. I love that picture, and I love the movie as well. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really funny. People were slating it, saying it's not, you know, nothing compared to Hangover, which, yeah, alright, Hangover was like this film that just popped out of nowhere and, you know, made everybody laugh. But, you know, stupid humour is fantastic, and that's my cup of tea. I like that kind of stuff. You know, I like all these boring, serious films as well, but, you know, something that just makes you laugh. You can't go wrong with it all. Anyway, there's some nice inside artwork, nice disc art. You get the digital copy, which I'm not going to show you the code for, and although I can't really read German or Dutch or anything, there's some postcards in there as well. But yeah, overall I love this film. My favourite character is, I get his name wrong, Ken Jeong. He's brilliant. I think I could watch him for like hours on end and just laugh continuously. He's fantastic in the first and second film. I think there's they've just, you know, said that obviously they're making the third one, but I think he's going to get a bigger role in it, which I'm over the moon about. I just hope they don't, you know, ruin his performance or anything like that. I hope they let him go with the flow and let him do what he wants to do, because I think he's brilliant. Anyway, Hangover 2 there. I was going to say 3, but it's not even out yet. But Hangover 2 there. Fantastic looking steelbook, and a great movie, I think, personally. Moving on, another one that I picked up off Play.com is Braveheart, and I think that is a fantastic looking steelbook. Nothing embossed or debossed on it. It's just the sword itself with the blood trickling off, with the artwork of the name Braveheart in there, and there's a picture of Mel Gibson on the back in his pewter, because obviously he's Scottish or Australian or whatever he is. But anyway, or wasn't he Jesus? Or, no, he wasn't Jesus. No. What am I about? Anyway, there's the Braveheart film. You know, a lot of people slag this film off, saying, "Oh, you know, it's not accurate or anything." But so what if it's not accurate? You know, it was a good film. You know, very violent film as well. There's the inside art. There's some artwork there. You get the Blu-ray and the DVD. I only quickly chucked this in to have a look at the picture of the Blu-ray, and it is actually a fantastic picture. But my missus watched it the other day and said it was great. You know, compared to the DVD, it stands out so much. You know, the blood and gore and everything like that. So she said she was really happy with it. So, although she likes the Twilight films, I do take her advice sometimes. But yeah, there's Braveheart. I love this film. I loved it when it's first made. You know, I think any Scottish person that you see or talk to about this film will tell you they love it. But yeah, overall fantastic film. I enjoyed it. Go out and check it out. Next, my last steelbook today is, I'm getting so close to finishing phase 1 of the steelbooks. I've got Captain America. This is the German Dutch version, a Dutch or German version, I'm not sure. But anyway, this is the 3D version. Great looking steelbook. Embossed artwork of the Captain America. Then you've got the border outside and the inside, which is debossed. Great Look in, see the side art, and a picture of the Captain America on the back there. I'll show you a bit better. I'm hoping you can see that. I tried to sort my lighting out, but yeah, there's a picture of Captain America. If we open it up, you get 3 discs, no cover art, no disc art on there, but there's art on the behind here, obviously Captain America, and you get the digital copy as well. Yeah, this, like I said, this is 3D. I do have a 3D TV, and I do like to watch 3D films occasionally. Not all the time, but occasionally I'll chuck in a 3D film and check it out. I've got to say, out of all the Avenger-y Marvel kind of films, I think this is one of the poorest ones. You know, not saying it's a bad film, and I'll probably get slated for that, but I think, you know, out of Iron Man and you know, Incredible Hulk, Thor, and all them, this was definitely, for me personally, in the lower regions of the best out of the lot. But overall, I did enjoy it. I loved Hugo Weaving as Red Scarf; thought he was fantastic, and Chris O'Donnell as, you know, Captain America was fantastic as well. But, you know, I think they could have done more with it. I don't know where or how they could have done more. I think they kind of redeemed it when they did the Avengers, but I don't know. I'm going to pick up the Avengers next month, so I'll show you that one, and I can talk more about how much I enjoyed that one. But anyway, I'm getting close to finishing phase 1 of the Steelbooks. You know, I've got the Avengers pre-ordered. Just need to pick up Thor now, which I'll probably have to spend about £70 on, because it's sold out and everybody's selling it at cheaper prices. But I will pay that because I am a collector and I want it as part of my collection. Sad, I know, but hey, shit happens. So I want to move on next. I picked up 2 Blu-rays. I picked this one up off Play.com. I think it was it was really cheap. I think $3.99 I got it for, and it's The Faculty. And I love this movie. I remember it from, you know, being well, I was 18 or 19 when it came out, but I remember watching it and really enjoying it. I think I loved it because it had Robert Patrick in it. You know, the T-1000, it was T-1000, I'm sure. You know, in Terminator 2, you know, he plays a good part in this. Also got Harry Knowles, who's on Ain't Cool News. If you watch his some of his reviews and read from his site, you know, I'm a big fan of his anyway. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I've actually, you can see I've got it actually in the Blu-ray player right now because I'm going to watch it after this. But from what I remember, I love the film. You know, Josh Hartnett's in it. You know, you got Elijah Wood, and I think that, who else? There was some kind of rapper in there as well, wasn't there? I can't think off the top of my head, but yeah. But overall, I really enjoyed this. You know, different kind of film about aliens taking over, you know, the teachers and stuff like that. Or the teachers were aliens or something like that, and the kids trying to sort it all out. But yeah, overall, really good film. Really enjoyed it. I'm going to watch it again, so hopefully it'll be just as good as when it was out in '98. So, but I'm going to check it out. So, love that one. Check it out. Next up, haven't actually watched this one yet. I picked it up from the Shameless Screen Entertainment. I don't know if any of you have heard. It's like a UK kind of distributor. They bring out really old retro kind of films, same as Arrow Films in the UK. I collect all them, the Blu-rays mainly. I don't collect the DVDs, but I've got all the Blu-rays. I hope to show them in another video one day. But it's the New York Ripper. One thing I want to say, I love the disc for this. You know, a yellow Blu-ray, even though it's Blu-ray, it's still yellow, but you know, it's almost like making you stand out. You know, for the disc art and everything like that. So it's really cool Blu-ray picture. Get the disc art there. Get a nice booklet about the film itself. You also get the inlay card, or the outer card, should I say, is a reversible sleeve, which is cool. You know, I try and collect a lot of the old obscure films. I know this one was, I think this one is still banned uncut in this country. I think, but I've got some information. They said that 22 seconds of the film was cut. I think they wouldn't release it, and they had, you know, it was like famously that they escorted this film to the border to get rid of it out of this country, so it couldn't be shown. But like I said, I haven't watched it yet. I really want to check it out. I'm going to check it out. Hopefully, maybe in another video I might talk more about it, but at the moment I can't really say much. But New York Ripper looks pretty cool, really retro. 82, I think it was made. You know, loads of boobs and blood and gore and just what you want from these kind of films. But I'll check it out. And if not, tell me what you think about it. Anyway, that's the end of my review. I tried to make this one a little bit shorter than the other one because it was very long, the other one. I'm going to make a video soon just showing every single one of my Blu-rays that I've got so far. Quick review, you know, quickly show the Blu-ray, what I thought of it, put it down, get rid of it so it's not too long. Just show you what I've got so far so you're not expecting it in any other videos. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you subscribe, leave any comments below, any questions, and I'll try and answer them. Please keep watching, push out as well if you can, try and get people to watch this. You know, I want to make more. I'm not the best reviewer, I know, but you know, I'm still quite nervous and hopefully we can get better and better as we go along. But thanks for watching and subscribing. Check you later.